3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daybreak podcast.
Woo!
Episode 11. 11 is my favorite number.
Really?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Man.
And 17 will be another lit episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's his favorite number. Dude, we're going to have a chill, laid-back episode this week. We're just going to be talking about some music stuff. It's going to be pretty short because I was traveling all day. Luke was doing stuff all day.
I'm just drained.
Dude,
so.
Yeah. And we're not going to really do a week in review. I feel like there's no need to.
Yeah. Usually we record these podcasts like a week apart, but we're recording this a few days early, so there's not much of a week in between our recordings, so we're just...
Dude, I kind of want to talk real quick about what I'm doing this weekend.
Alright, go for it.
I'm going to the beach with a few friends.
Ooh.
Okay, it's going to be exciting. Luke is not coming, sadly.
Yeah.
I told him to come. I was like, Luke,
God, I wasn't...
come.
I totally wasn't invited.
No, but it's a bunch of my friends that went to my high school. Luke did not go to my high school.
Yeah.
And that being said, I didn't go to Luke's high school. So,
yeah.
We actually went to rival high schools.
That's true.
We kind of have beef, low-key.
Yeah.
Like, if I see him in the street outside of the podcast, it's hands. Every
Oh,
time.
yeah. No, we were just beating the shit out of each other right now.
Yeah, bro, you guys should have seen the take we did before this one. It was
oh, my
violent.
God. It was like...
We had
like
to- we had to-
Omni-Man.
Yeah, we had to clean up the... Yeah, dude. I watched...
Right before this podcast, I showed him the first episode of Invincible. And spoilers ahead, if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. But holy shit.
Dude, like, he just... Can I... Spoilers?
Yeah, go
Dude,
for it.
he just murked like 6 people. Like, viciously.
Bruh, not a word was said on his part, just hands.
Yeah, like, like,
Oh.
for real, he showed up, like, on site. Like, and what's crazy about it is, it's like he had no... You start to see in, like, the first episode, he starts to, like, lose his temper a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he lost his temper at his wife. He was kind of being a little, like, edgy with his son, if that makes sense. But yeah, so you start to see these things. So I kind of had the idea in my head that he was about to murk a bunch of people, but I was like, probably not. Maybe he just snapped at his wife for a second, which, like, happens.
I mean...
You know, not something that you want to happen, but it happens. And, you know, he was like, nah, fam, these people are just dead to me now.
Straight up murdered the Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah, just snap, like, literally snapped one of the girls. Like, oh my gosh, the most brutal kill, I thought in my mind, broke the neck, and then she coughed up, like, blood, and then just falls to her knees and I was like...
Well, I think the most brutal kill in that first episode was Darkwing. Homie dropped in from above, Omni-Man looked up, said nah, took his foot, bam, right on the front, bam, splattered his brains across. Yeah. Oh, God.
It gave me very much The Boy vibes. If you guys haven't watched that, you guys should. It's a great show.
Oh, yeah.
But very much The Boy vibes, because, like, in the first episode of The Boys, if you guys haven't seen it, spoilers ahead, but, oh, dude, what's the guy that's like Superman? The Superman
Oh,
ripoff. Homelander just, like, cuts the plane in half with his vision, and then the Speed guy just, like, runs through a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm really liking these, like, more vicious and brutal superhero shows, because, like, in the Marvel universe, you don't see that much, like, realistic pain or death or, like, injury. But no, Invincible will show you the inside of some dude's skull.
Yeah, like, and honestly, I feel like it's more realistic. Because, like, think about it, if, like, humans were to have powers, like, look, I would love to sit here all day and be like, yeah, man, I'd be the good guy fighting crime. I know I'd get angry and I'd do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. And I like how, like, I mean, that's a big plot point in a lot of superhero comics, like the line between killing and not killing, but, like, oh my God, Invincible just goes a step beyond to the question of genocide or no genocide.
Yeah, like, seriously, like, I don't know. It was just good.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
we're talking about music.
Yeah.
So, we have a few albums that we want to talk about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go off dome. And the reason being, I forgot my notebook at my house. So, and it was kind of messed up because after last week's episode, I wrote down like 5 albums that I know you like, and I wrote down like a 5 out. No, I wrote 10 albums total. I think no, it was probably 6. I think I did 3 that I know you like, and then 3 I like, and then we're gonna review those. But yeah, my notebook it's not in Florida. It's literally like at my parents' house, so it's like 15 minutes away. But I just forgot it and realized I forgot it just now.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it is what it is. But we're gonna be talking about what are we gonna be talking about?
Well,
where do you want to start?
I think we should start with our background in music. You know how it's affected our lives up until now, and then we can get into like the nitty gritty, like what music we listen to.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. First off, I want to say this: you have siblings. You're the youngest.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest in my family. I only have one sibling. You have, more than me. But I feel like you and me both got a lot of our taste in music from our brothers.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, like when I talk about music, I'm like, it's weird. I feel like a mini version of my older brother. I'm like, yeah, man, like you haven't listened to this, and I'm like, my brother just turned me on. You guys like,
yeah.
So and it's kind of weird because like the shift in genres in music shifts with my brother because like he'll just like randomly send me stuff, and I'll just randomly send him stuff, and we'll just like riff off of each other with that. So
yeah.
But your brother,
my brother is actually the lead singer of a band right now. Their first album is out. It's called In Hiding. Their band is Solaris. Not to plug too much.
Wait, can I plug a little bit of it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because you gotta be humble, you're the brother, but I'm gonna not be humble. Low key. So first off, I want to say that like heavy rock, which is kind of what I'd say that genre, that album is.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily metal.
It's like I think the specific genre is gent, but it is like a branch of like progressive rock and metal and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'd say I'm not a huge fan of that music. I'm not. However, I listened to your brother's album, and like no bias, not being like, oh, I've known your brother for so long, but like literally no bias. I was like, this slaps. I'm like, first off, I didn't know your brother could sing like that.
Right? Neither did I until he showed us like some of like the first recordings. I was like, man, I mean, I've never heard him sing, but then I heard it and I was like, oh my lord,
dude. Yeah.
So I guess the talent just runs in the family.
Yeah. I was like, dang, bro, homeboy's got pipes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Ish. But yeah, dude. Okay, so background in music. I want you to go first, and then I'll go after you.
All right. So, like growing up, I feel like we all have like the bands that we listen to, and it's majority like the stuff that our parents and family listen to. My brother, the one who's actually in a band right now, he was the one who sort of shaped my music taste at first, like along with my dad and my friends. But like growing up, my brother was into a lot of like 3 Days Grace and like Korn and like Seether and
like Korn the food.
No, K.O.R.N. It's like a new metal band, I think. But like, so I grew up listening to a lot of those bands, and like going into middle school, I listened to a lot more of like 21 Pilots and like Green Day and stuff, sort of like that more punky phase. But now I am a lot more into like I have a very well-rounded music taste.
Yeah.
Like I mainly listen to like metal and gent, but I love 2000s pop punk. I love rock music. I love like, I guess, what would you consider like Foster the People? Like, I guess
dude,
that's like pop.
I feel like they're more indie.
Yeah,
indie pop.
indie. Yeah,
indie pop.
Yeah, the only category of music that I really, really, really don't like is country music.
And that's where you and me differ.
Yeah.
Because I love me some country music.
Yeah, no, I just can't do it.
There's a lot of people that can't do country music, and I get it. I get that's not for everyone. And like growing up, I was always so anti-country because it was like all my mom played in the car driving me to school. But like, dude, when I got older, like when I got into high school and I started working at the golf course, I realized I was like, dude, like country's it. I was like, it's some summertime, just like kicking it with the bros.
I mean, yeah, I can understand that, but I feel like there are other types of music or just other like bands in general who have that vibe even more. Like, if I'm trying to listen to like some summertime like upbeat music, I mean, Childish Gambino
Gambino goes pretty hard. You're right.
Like, I listened to a bunch of rap, like J. Cole. I know he released a new album, but I haven't listened to it yet.
You should.
I know I should. J. Cole, Jack Harlow, his older stuff. I don't really like his newer albums.
Yeah.
Like Confetti Back.
Bangers.
I didn't even really like What's Poppin', you know?
Okay, so I wasn't a huge fan of the first What's Poppin', but the one he did with all the features, I was like, this song goes so hard.
Yeah, I will say, Lil Wayne's verse, weakest in that song.
I think Lil Wayne's verse, but you also have to think, like, dude, Lil Wayne, like, runs that shit, you know?
I mean, I guess.
Like, he is, like, in my opinion, he is, like, one of the godfathers of rap.
Oh, 100%.
So, like,
he's done a lot
him
for
just,
the
like,
genre.
being on the song in general, like, you know it's gonna be good. Granted, he did rip off, like, the first verse that, like,
yeah.
Jack Harlow had. Like, he really just changed around a few words and, like, kind of put his own, like, little style into it.
Yeah, that's really my main gripe with his verse, is that it was too derivative of the original song.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't that original.
Yeah, like, he kept using rhymes that were already used in the original, only adding, like, a few lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Anything, like, from Confetti, like, backwards on his, like, catalog, amazing.
Yeah.
Confetti is just filled with bangers. I
agree.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of my background, I guess. So, I kind of grew up going to concerts in a sense. My dad was in, like, a local band in North Carolina. So, I kind of, like, grew up going and watching him play a lot. My dad played piano. And then my brother got really into music. My brother, like, started making music. He has some stuff that's released on, like, SoundCloud and stuff. And he was super, super talented.
Mm-hmm.
But what was messed up is he applied to a college for music. But he didn't get in because his GPA wasn't great. Yeah. So he just kind of, like, gave up on it, went the business route. But, like, music's still a big part in his life. And, like, my house, my house growing up, never quiet.
Oh, yeah. There was always either a piano going or your brother was banging on the drums in the garage.
Or, like, my brother was playing guitar or something. And, like,
oh, yeah.
What's messed up is I never learned how to play piano. I never learned how to play guitar. I never learned how to play drums. But, like, low-key, I rock out on the ukulele. Like, I just, like, one day, I remember I just got bored, and it was, like, 1 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and I was, like, I went into my brother's room. I got the ukulele, and he was like, why are you taking my ukulele? I was like, dude, I'm taking your ukulele. And he was like, alright. So I just, like, started playing the ukulele, and then, like, learned a few songs on that, and that was pretty much it. But
oh, yeah.
My brother did chorus, and then that prompted me to do chorus. I know you did chorus.
Yeah, I was in chorus all 4 years of high school.
Yeah. Jeez, dude. But yeah, so I kind of grew up going to, like, live music shows a lot. And then my mom was, like, super into, like, Motley Crue and, like, old rock, like Kiss and stuff like that. And my dad was into, like, more bluegrass stuff. And then, he
more vibey stuff, like Fish and the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, and then oh my gosh, like Little Town something. Oh my gosh, they made the Pontoon song. It's a country song. It's like on the pontoon.
I think I've heard that song, but
yeah, you must have, because like we played it on the boat all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, but it was kind of weird because like my mom was into this like kind of rock stuff. My dad was more into this like bluegrass, and then my brother had this more metal and then EDM kind of vibe, and then I got really into like rap, pop punk, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like in middle school, me and you had the exact same music taste pretty much.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
with the 21 Pilots and then Green Day and stuff like that, because we thought we were so edgy back then. Oh, the simple times.
God. But yeah, no, music has affected both of us pretty heavily. I mean, I know you can sort of see the guitars I have back there. I have a total of 4.
Yeah,
2 of them being bass guitars, and one of them being an electric, and one of them being an acoustic. So I've definitely, you know, fiddled around with the old 6 strings and the,
and the 4 strings.
and well, only one 4-string. I have a 6-string bass.
Chris. Thank you, Chris. Facts.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've like music has always been a big part of my life. Like chorus has like as much as tiring as chorus was, it brought me together with a lot of really cool people. And same with theater, although I resent theater a lot more than chorus. Oh god, you meet some asshole people being a theater kid.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you guys are watching this and you're going into high school, don't do theater. Do tech theater. That's
Tech,
the vibe.
oh my god, tech is
the vibe.
definitely the vibe. Actual theater, you are going to meet the most entitled people on the planet, and none of them are actually going to care about you or, you know.
They care
what
about
you
your
feel.
skill more than they care about you personally.
Yeah.
And low key, I'm happy because, okay, so freshman year, I tried to do theater, I tried to do chorus. I couldn't because I have a learning disability, so I had to take like some special classes and stuff like that, which was super whack, super boring. So I didn't really get a say in the classes I chose freshman year. And then sophomore year, same thing, right? So, but through that, I learned theater was filled with entitled people because I was friends with all the theater kids.
Yeah.
I was friends with a bunch of theater kids at my school. Obviously, I was friends with a bunch of theater kids at his school because he knew all of them.
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of learned, and I was like, dude, this isn't my vibe. I tried out for a musical, but I didn't even like want to try out. I tried out so that my friend would audition because he was being a scaredy pants, and I was like, yo, Ham. That rhymes with his name. I was like, yo, Ham, like you gotta do it. Like,
Man,
you're
you're really making us scratch our heads at what
Yeah,
that
right.
means.
But I was like, bro, you gotta do it. And he was like, I'll do it if you do it. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna make it, but whatever, I'll
If
try.
I ever meet this kid, I'm exclusively calling him Ham.
You met the kid. You know the kid very well. But yeah, I feel like there's no harm in saying his name. Yeah, like so, like Graham.
Yeah.
If you're out there, if you're watching this, he was low key like, I'll do it if you do it, and I was like, whatever. And I knew I wasn't gonna make it because like my acting ability wasn't great, and like I hadn't done any chorus, so I didn't have like any formal voice training. My voice was a train wreck. It's now slightly less of a train wreck. It's more like a car accident now.
It's more like it's more like when you're like crossing a railroad tracks and like you see the train coming and like the things are coming down and like you step on the gas just in time to clear it.
Yeah.
That's where you're at, right?
Yeah, dude, no, actually, it's kind of funny because whenever I play spike ball, I'll like start singing. If I'm like just like bored or like it's a slow game or whatever, I'll just start singing. And there's like people in Florida that are like, yo, Kevin, you have like a good voice. Because like in high school, I did like baritone and bass. And then I was like, dude, baritone and bass is fun, but it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot more like if you're a baritone or a bass, you're definitely more of like the foundational part of the music rather than the part that people will actually listen to.
I agree. Yeah.
And I know this because I was a baritone or bass. I was a bass too for 4 years. So yeah, I know how it feels to like have people think like, oh, you were singing up there? Holy shit.
Yeah. Like in like my junior year of high school when I started doing chorus, I started off as a bass and I did like bass 2 parts. Like I had a super low voice, and then senior year halfway through junior year I switched to baritone and I was doing like baritone 1, and so I was like hitting high notes that were almost tenor. And then like I just stayed with baritone through senior year, but then I moved to Florida and dude. So here's a kind of crazy thing that I don't think you know. When I moved to Florida, I started like really just like trying to sing and like trying to hit higher notes and like sing as a tenor, and my voice sounds better as a tenor.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. So like whenever I'm singing in Spikeball, I'm singing tenor songs, and like that's why people were like, oh Kevin, like you have like a decent voice, and I was like,
oh yeah, no, I've definitely found that like if I'm in my car like singing to myself, like I definitely try and sing like the higher songs even if I can't really do it.
yeah, there's some notes that I'm like, dude, how did you hit that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
No.
John Bellion, I'm like, dude,
God.
chill out.
Any of the notes that Daniel Tompkins sings, holy shit. Like Daniel Tompkins isn't as big of an artist, but he's the lead singer for Tesseract. He was the lead singer for Sky Harbor, but he also sings in White Moth Black Butterfly and Zeta. He has his own personal album. This dude is a monster.
Yeah, no, he's
like, he
about
just
it.
cranks out music, and every single thing that he puts out is a banger.
Dude, and his voice is actually just so good.
It's stupid good.
Like, and his range, what I've noticed from like the stuff you told me, from not even the stuff you told me, from what I've listened to, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Like he can hit some really, really low notes and some ridiculously high notes.
Dude, there are things where like I'll be singing, we'll be in your car and I'll be trying to sing along. Like I don't really know the words, but I'll know the melody.
Yeah, like the...
So I'll hum the melody with it, and then I'm like, dude, you're going past my falsetto and you're belting. I'm like, I don't get this right now.
Dude he's just insane. And like all of his projects are like some of my favorite music to listen to just on a daily basis. But
oh, it looks like I'm going up on a no time.
Oh no.
Meet me behind the bush in 5 minutes. Dude,
Quick pause.
speaking of gay stuff. Alright, hold on. I want you guys to know I'm bi. First off, like this is because I don't want to get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
But at the tournament, it was super funny because I was playing with Nevin. Shout out Nevin. And he was just like, if you guys watch the highlight video for it, I'll put the link in the description because he's gonna be the one editing this because I'll be not around.
Yeah. Thanks.
Put the
Wow,
notes. Sorry, my fault, dang. But put the link for it in the description. They're in between songs. Right? There's like funny moments that happen in tournaments. You know, like you'll just like say random stuff.
Yeah.
And the 2 songs I used were "In the Water" from Cal and Quinn 92, and then "Art Ho" by Call Me Charisma.
Come on, chameleon.
But in between, there's like a rest, and Nevin in one of our games, like this guy said something, and Nevin was like, "You better shut up before I kiss you." And he said it like super loud, like he yelled it.
I love that,
Dude, yeah, and like the field was like a soccer field, right? Like width and lengthwise. So he like yelled that like 25, 50 yards to like people that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I got it on video. And I put it in the highlight between the thing. It was so funny.
I personally love doing that. I am straight as a board. I have no gay bone in my body. But I love like going up to my homies and just being like, better shut up before I make out with you right now. Kiss you straight on the mouth. No jokes. no cap.
But no, so there was that, and then like it was so funny because Nevin's just a really funny guy. He was super fun to play with. Again, shout out Nevin. I really hope to play another tournament with him because he was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But literally we'd be in games and he'd just start saying like super sus stuff to like throw people off. It was so funny. And like I'd sit there and it was funny because like me and him had a different way of getting in people's heads because like while he'd go around and say some like sus stuff to people, I'm on that beat where I'd like no touch ace someone and I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't scoring again. Like, I was like,
Yeah, no, I love being overly cocky. Like, even if I am losing really bad, as soon as if I'm playing a game, as soon as I get one kill, I'm always like, boom, you're garbage. Get out of here. You're trash.
You freaking nerd. Go home, dude. How's your mom's basement feeling?
Yeah, uninstall, nerd.
But anyways, back to music.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got off topic a little bit there. But no, so gosh, I can't even remember where we were with music.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, we can get into like some of the music that we're currently into.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like we have our all-time artists. Mm-hmm. Like for me, like an all-time artist is like John Bellion. Like I will always listen to John Bellion, and like I'll always listen to Lawrence because Lawrence just. If y'all haven't listened to Lawrence, listen.
Oh yeah,
you're missing out.
They're great.
They're like this like funk like. It's just like it's funk, feel good, like
it's very upbeat funk.
Yeah,
I mean I know like all funk is upbeat, but it's a lot more like summertime. Feeling. Like,
and if you ever have the chance, please go see them live. I saw them live, and that's how I heard about them because they opened for John Bellion, and they just kill it, dude. Like the energy they have, I am like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm always impressed by bands that are as good live as like their studio versions.
Yeah.
Like I know there are very few bands that can do this. Like I know Tesseract is one of them. Paramore is another one.
Yeah, but Hayley Williams' voice.
Hayley Williams she is a gosh damn queen. I swear,
dude. Just like. All these female singers recently have just been blowing me out of the water.
Oh yeah, like honestly, I found myself listening to a lot more female artists. Like, I need to listen to the new Olivia Rodrigo album.
She is so good. It's so sad.
Yeah, but like, In This Moment is fantastic. It's metal sung by a female, and you know it's so good. It's arguably better than the majority of the metal that I like grew up with.
Yeah.
But like Hayley Williams and Paramore, God, there's so many good ones. I will say though, like a lot of the really popular female artists, well, a lot of the really popular artists in general, I very much dislike.
That's valid, and I think part of that is because you hear a lot of their old stuff, and you're like, okay, this is good, and that, but like, their old stuff is like when they had control of their music, they were writing this stuff, and like you could tell they were really putting their passion into it, and then they get to this like weird mid-level where they get a bunch of hype around them, but their music starts to fall off, and it's because like these record labels are expecting them to just crank out non-stop.
Oh yeah, that's what I think is happening to Jack Harlow right now.
Yeah.
Like his old stuff is fantastic. When he had control over his music, it was great. But now that like he's signing with really big record labels and he's just cranking out music willy-nilly, like the quality has just gone down.
Yeah, and like, but I will say, the one person I don't think that happened with is Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because he had so much raw talent to just freestyle and go off dome.
Yeah.
Like, you hear about Lil Dicky when he was talking about him in an interview, he was literally like, yeah, he went in, recorded with Benny Blanco, and the session was like 10 minutes long because he went in, had a beat, freestyled over the beat for like 3 minutes, and then he was like, hold on, run it back, give me the same beat, did a different version of the song, and then both of them were just like hits. And he like walked out and he was like, yeah, just pick whichever one you like. And then
that's incredible.
He just had the power to do that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm constantly impressed by like rap artists who can just freestyle off the dome, because I can never even fathom getting to that level of
and it's
lyrical.
It's so hard to do, and I feel like a lot of rap artists have this unrealistic expectation to just be able to do that. And it's dude, freestyling in its own is its own craft. Like,
yeah,
that's you can be very lyrically sound with like writing down, but like just going off dome and how clever you have to be to do that. That's insane.
Yeah,
like
it's fucking crazy.
I don't understand. Oh my gosh, these kids, they're insane, dude. There's a lot of young artists popping up.
Oh yeah,
now, like a lot of young rappers, like Like Lil Baby is like freaking. I think he's like 19.
God,
Like
it sort of makes me like feel bad for these kids because like they're getting thrown into the thick of it super young, and they're gonna see a lot of shit that's just gonna mess them up.
yeah.
Like I can't even begin to imagine what happens at like the private levels of Hollywood, like in like all the millionaires and like famous artists' personal lives.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't imagine that all of it is good, especially when there are artists who are singing and rapping about literally murdering people.
Yeah. But, like, a lot, you have to think, some of these artists, they grew up in, like, the projects, and, like, that's just what they know.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing, what I find funny is you're very rarely seeing these rappers come out that are, like, from the suburbs and had, like,
oh, yeah.
Like, you're not seeing rappers, like, grow up how you and me grow up.
Yeah, definitely
Like,
not. I think, like, a single person's experience feeds into a lot of what they create as an artist. And, you know, the people who have been through the most have the most to say.
Yeah.
So, and, like, you and me, like, I don't mean to, like, you know, take away any struggles that either of us had, but we've had it pretty easy throughout our lives.
Like, dude, everyone has hardships, but, like, there's some things that, like, dude, they're harder than others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think I don't think it's a bad thing to admit that, like, you know, we've had it better than most people.
Yeah.
But, like, we don't try to use that to be above people.
Exactly.
We don't try and, like, say that we're better than other people because of it.
Exactly. Dude, there are people that, like, they're just so kind and so nice, and they just, like, blow my mind. Like, I have a friend in Florida. He is literally the nicest person you will ever meet. He is, like, so kind. Like, I can't even put into words, like, how much this kid deserves. Like, he deserves the world, but he just came up from, like, the shittiest upbringing.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you would have never guessed, because he's just so nice, and, like, he's just so forgiving, too, and, like...
Yeah. What I've found with a lot of people is the really rude and entitled people do tend to come from, like, those middle class families, like, especially since I went to a public school. I've seen all sorts of, like, wealth distributions in families. I have a lot of friends who don't have it as well as we do. I have a couple of friends who have it even better off than we do.
Yeah.
And, like, the way that I pick friends is that, like, I look for the qualities in people that I want to be treated like.
I look for the energy that I want to be around. Exactly.
Like, there are certain qualities that I look for in people, and my friends have those qualities. And a lot of, like, the entitled middle-class white boys from our school, or our schools, just tend to be entitled assholes who, you know, think they've been through more than they actually have, and they try to use that as an upper hand in, you know, whatever they're doing.
Yeah. I just think... And I also think, like, I try to put myself in their shoes a lot of the time, which I know is messed up, but, like, there are times where, like, obviously I told you guys I'm bi. Like, in school, like, people just being homophobic, and, like, for a while I just got really angry at them, and then I, like, realized, I'm like, dude, you were brought up that way. Like, I can't... Like, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say to you that's gonna change that? Like, nothing. Like, dude, you were fed this your whole life by your parents. Like,
yeah.
I can't... I'm not supposed to just sit here and try to fix you. Like,
yeah,
that's your own shit to work out.
Yeah,
you know
and that's why I think, like, tying this back together with music, that's why I think that music is such a powerful tool, because, like, people from all walks of life, from, you know, different colors and creeds and sexual orientations, as Logic would say, like, everyone can sort of connect through music.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter the background, it doesn't matter your own personal struggles. You can connect with whatever music you listen to and the people who listen to that music. Because, you know, you can take literally anything. You can take whatever you want from music. You can listen to, you know, you can listen to a rap song about some dude getting murdered on the street, and you can think of, like, oh yeah, that's, like, that's super, thug and cool and like, yeah. And usually it's the white people that think that. But you can also listen to the same exact song and think like, wow, this kid has
like
been through
it.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. This isn't what he wants to be rapping about. This is just how he's grown up. This is
just his way to cope.
This is his life. And that, like, it's, I don't know, it's cool that, like, you can sort of see another person's perspective through music.
You know what I found really cool? I was at the beach in Florida last week, or like Monday, and I went with my friends Emma and Bree, and then they had a bunch of friends that they brought with, but I was talking with Bree, and Bree's little brother is a rapper, and I'm not gonna lie, she told me her little brother was a rapper, and I was like, this kid's garbage. I was like without listening, without doing anything, I was like, this kid's gonna suck, and I'm ready for that. Dude, he was good. Like, she was showing me some of his songs, and I was like, dude, the potential's there. He's got that.
You definitely need to have, like, talent to be able to rap.
Yeah, and he's a clever kid. Just the way he puts words together just, like, makes sense, and it's very creative. But, she was talking to her little brother one time, and she was like, yeah, he was like, I was in a dark space, and Juice WRLD saved my life. And she was like, and I talked to other guys, and they're like, oh yeah, Juice WRLD did so much for me. And she asked me why, and I was literally like, because he was like the first person to talk about what every single guy thinks but can't say.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, and I think that's becoming more and more of a trend on, like, social media, and, like, especially TikTok, is, like, taking these very specific circumstances that a lot of people end up going through and saying, like, hey, I've experienced this too. Like, you're not the only one.
Exactly. It's like people saying, like, I don't know, music, a lot of artists nowadays have, like, this weird way of explaining, like, yo, I deal with anxiety too. Like, and here's how I got through it. It might not work for you, but here's what works for me, so you can try this.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like Juice WRLD and the Kid Laroi and a bunch of people like that have inspired a bunch of these kids to, like, start making music and start getting into it to, like, see what they like. Now, like, not every single one of them is going to blow up.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a few that I think are very slept on, like Jackson Free. He went to my school. I'm not going to sit here and be like I was really good friends with him, because I talked to him realistically twice while I was in school.
Yeah.
And he was two grades above me. Like, my first year in tech was his last year. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not like we were super good friends, but I had him on Snapchat, and then he started releasing music, and at first I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. Dude, the last, like, 10 songs he's put out, I was like, these are fire. I was like, it has blown my mind that the kid is not blown up yet.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, like I feel like if you're
Shout out Jackson, by the way.
Yeah. I feel like if you're making music, it shouldn't matter whether it blows up, because music, if you're making music, you should be making music to, cope, or to share your experiences, or as, like, an outlet for all of your pent up emotions.
Yeah, make music for you, not for other people.
Exactly. I mean, that's the reason why we do this podcast.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Like, I personally don't care if this blows up and becomes, like, a huge thing. Yes, that would be cool. Yes, I would love for it to happen. But, like, this is mainly just a way of, it's an outlet for me. It's a way for me to,
It was funny because, like, when me and you were talking about starting this podcast, we were literally like, we need a void that we can just, like, spew our bullshit into.
Exactly.
And that's, like, what this is.
Yeah,
like,
just a planned way for us to nerd out.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
I think
random shit.
Yeah, and I think the same thing goes with music. Like, if it blows up and it becomes popular, cool. If it doesn't, then you should still get as much out of it as a creator.
Exactly. I agree. Okay. Dude, how long have we been running? 38 minutes, and it seems like we have not been running that long.
Oh yeah, it's felt like 15.
Dude, yeah. Okay, I want to end off one final thing, because what time is it? It is 10:10 p.m.
Oof, yeah.
Your boy finna go to sleep when he gets home.
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
But I want to end off top 5 albums off Dome.
Off Dome. Okay. Let's see.
I got like my top 3. I don't know if I have 5. I might have 5.
I got 5. I'll start off.
Okay.
Let's see. this is just personally for me. This might not, be the vibe for everyone. But, I mean, if you want to check these albums out, when we post this, I can put the albums in the description and post, Spotify links so that you guys can... honestly, I can make a playlist.
True.
Like a Spotify playlist.
True.
But my top 5 would be In Hiding by Solaris. It's my brother's band. And not just because it's my brother's band, but because their music is legitimately fantastic.
It is very good.
Let's see. Altered State by Tesseract.
Wait, real quick. Who's the guitar player for your brother's band? Because he kills it.
It's actually she.
She?
Yeah.
I thought it was full. I thought the whole band was filled with guys.
The drummer is a dude. The bassist is a dude. I think there are 2 guitarists. One of them is one of them's a guy. One of them is a girl.
Okay.
But they both kill it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I was listening to the album. They just shred.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I'll link all of their social medias down below so that you guys can check them out. Let's see. So, In Hiding, Altered State by Tesseract. Let's see. Guiding Lights by Sky Harbor. That's my all-time favorite album. And then those are all very metally. And let's see. Atone by White Moth Black Butterfly is absolutely fantastic. It's a lot more atmospheric. It's a lot more vibey. And then for my 5th one, Periphery 3, Select Difficulty. That's the first album that got me into Periphery, and every single song on that album, it just hits.
Just goes hard.
Yeah.
Dude, alright. Top 5 for me. The Human Condition by John Bellion.
Classic.
Very good. That's the album that got me into John Bellion. I'm debating between Living Room and Breakfast from Lawrence. Both of them are really good. I only want to pick one Lawrence. We're going to say Living Room right now for Lawrence. Death Race for Love from Juice WRLD. Dude, this is hard. Because, my 3 and 4 spot, I feel like they always change.
Yeah.
And it's same with movies. I get asked my top 5 movies all the time. And it's 1 and 2 always stay the same. 3, 4, and 5 always change.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, what is it? Oh, hold on. I have to remember this. I have to pull out the phone and get it real quick.
It's all good. I had to do that last time.
Dude, it is a G-Eazy album. And what's crazy to me is I love G-Eazy personally. Me and you saw him live.
Oh yeah, that was a fantastic show.
One of the best live performers I think ever. His shows are so amazing. These Things Happen, G-Eazy, number 4. And then number 5.
It's a tough one.
Dude, it is a tough, because it's a toughie because it changes so much.
Yeah, I have so many favorite albums. I could easily make a top 10, but just off the dome for 5, it's hard to rank them. Probably,
it's a Black Bear album. I'm in between Digital Drug Lord, which is an album, and then The Afterglow, which is an EP. That's why I pulled them up, because I was like, I don't know which one I want to pick. But yeah, those are top 5 solid. I'll listen to every single song on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, that's the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. It went longer than expected. We were literally low key. Me and Luke, we were so low energy coming into this. Oh my god,
I was drained.
Luke I texted him and I was like, hey, I just landed. Let's get this podcast done. And he was like, dude, I can't do it today. He was like, I'm so low energy. And I was like, bro, we have to. There's no other time. And then I don't know. We pulled through. Yeah, we got it. I feel like me and Luke just on our off days we just force each other because
we just need to keep each other on track.
Yeah, that's just all what it turns into. It's a lot of tough love, but it works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thank you guys so much for watching episode 11. We have no idea what we're going to do for episode 12. Usually we have a somewhat of an idea. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so next week we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens throughout the week. I'll try and get him to watch the rest of Invincible, so maybe we can...
we have to talk about that. I'll watch it when I get home.
Oh, good.
When I get back to Florida, I'll watch it. That's the first episode got me hooked.
Yeah, because I really want to talk about that, and I really don't want to spoil anything. Because it is... Oh my god, it's crazy.
Dude, I have a feeling I know what happens, but I don't want to make any guesses because I'll probably be wrong.
Probably.
Actually, I don't know. I might be right.
Okay, what's your guess?
I think it's gonna end with. Okay, first off, he killed the bros. Right?
Yeah, he killed the Guardians.
He killed the homies.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna keep that secret, and his son that just got powers is going to like kind of start catching on to what he did and what's going on with him, and then I think I don't know if it's gonna be the end. But in a few episodes, the son is going to have to fight him.
That's an interesting prediction. I'm not going to tell you if it's right or wrong.
Okay. Dude, I'm going to have to pause Naruto to watch this. Oh, that's going to be so
Not
tough.
Naruto.
Literally, he just unlocked the abilities of being able to use the Nine Tails whenever.
Oh, dude. That's a pretty nuts arc, though.
Oh my gosh. I think the best arc so far has been the Pain arc.
Yeah.
But it's getting into like the 4th Great Ninja War right now. So that's about to be...
we're gonna have to do a podcast talking about Naruto because
that'll be a 2-hour podcast.
Oh, that'll be so long.
That will be a 2-hour.
We can get a guest or two on to help us talk about that.
Oh yes. We have to get Beck's giving me a ride to the beach tomorrow. I will try to convince him to come on.
Right. And Neil's also very into
we got
Naruto, so we'll try and get him on.
We got it. But thank you guys so much for watching episode 11. Episode 12 will be out, same time next week. So, peace.
See ya.